Hello friends, good evening. Guys, am I audible and visible? If I am audible and visible, then do let us know so that we can start our today's important lecture. So I welcome you all on our YouTube channel. So guys, if I am audible and visible, then do let me know so that we can start our important lecture. Hello Nilesh, good evening. So friends, basically the agenda of this session that we are going to cover ESI static most important MCQs for your upcoming phase 2 RBI Grade B examination. Hello, good evening Nilesh. Okay, great. Right. So guys, the agenda of this session is that we are going to cover most important MCQ question from ESI static portion for your upcoming RBI Grade B phase 2 examination, right? So basically we had all those who cleared the phase 1 of this examination, but friends, journey बहुत लंबी है अभी. You have to keep hard working, you have to keep focusing, right? आपको फोकस और हार्ड वर्क दोनों बनाकर रखना है so that you can have your name on the merit list. So guys, let's proceed. But before that guys, we are running flat 30% off plus 20% additional off as a part of our super sale, right? So you can get this 30% off and 20% off on our gold, silver and combo courses, as well as on gold, silver and combo courses of both RBI as well as NABARD, right? If you want to avail this discount, then you have to use the code SUPER. And guys, remember one thing, that this code is going to expire on today's midnight, right? So you have to avail this if you want to have this course. And guys, as you all know that UPSC has announced the date of ESI Deputy Director examination, which is going to be commenced in the month of July 2021. So we are running flat 40% as well as 10% additional off as a part of our Maha sale offer, right? So if you want to avail this code, if you want to avail this offer, then you have to use code ESIC, and this code is valid till 10th June to from 10th June to 12th June 2022, right? So let's proceed guys. So here is the question number first in front of you guys. You have to participate in the session क्योंकि ये आपके हेल्प के लिए है, आपके बेनिफिट के लिए है. So you have to participate in the session, ठीक है? Irrespective of the fact that you do not know the answer, that doesn't matter guys. You have to participate in the session, and believe me, your participation will make this session interactive as well as beneficial for you as well, right? Now, so guys, question number first is general reduction in inflation is known as, your options are deflation, reflation, disinflation, skew inflation, or none of the above. One more request friends, you have to mention the question number before answering your before marking your answer, so that I do not get confused which question you are referring, right? So you have to mention the question number before marking your answer. Okay, so most of you are saying option number C, A. So we have the combination of both C as well as A, right? So let's see the right answer. So the right answer for this question is option number C, that is disinflation, right? So here are the key terms which were mentioned in the question. So deflation, what is deflation guys? Deflation is the economic term used to describe the drop in prices for goods and services. So basically it is an opposite of inflation, right? Whenever we use inflation, which means increase in prices, and whenever we use deflation, so the term is decrease in prices, right? So basically this is the deflation in an easy language, right? If you talk about disinflation, which means inflation is there in the economy, but the rate at which inflation was there, it is going to slow down. For example, if we take an example, suppose if earlier inflation was 8% in the economy, and right now inflation is, if suppose 6% in the economy, so this means this is disinflation, right? Because यहाँ पर rate कम हो रहा है, right? Though inflation is there in the economy, but the rate of inflation is decreasing, so this is disinflation, right? Explanation you can read afterwards also. I'm just telling the key concepts behind these terms, right? Then if we talk about reflation, then reflation is a fiscal or monetary design to expand output, stimulate spending, and curb the effects of deflation. Methods of reflation are reducing taxes, lowering interest rates, change in money supply, capital projects, etc. Right? So this is reflation, जहाँ पर prices, जहाँ पर demand को बढ़ाया जाता है, right? With the help of reducing taxes. If you reduce tax, then people will have more disposable income in their hand, which means they have more buying power, more money in their hand to purchase something, and this will lead to increase in demand, which which cover this concept, that is reflation, right? Then guys, last option is skew inflation. So if you talk about skewflation, then it is a type of inflation in which the prices of a single commodity or a set of commodities rise while the overall price level remains stable, right? So basically here, if we talk about skewflation, then inflation is confined towards some specific set of goods and services, right? So अगर हम बात करें skewflation की, तो if suppose 100 goods and services are produced in an economy, so there are only 10 set of goods जहां पर inflation, जहां पर उनके price rise हुए हैं, and rest all the categories, that is 90 categories, remain unchanged. So this is skew inflation, which is confined to some set of commodities, goods and services. So I hope you got it. Now let's move to the question number 2, right? So guys, question number 2 is increase in absolute and per capita real GNP, that is gross national product, do not connote a higher level of economic development if your options are industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output. Option number 2 is agricultural output fails to keep pace with industrial output. Then poverty and unemployment increase. Then imports grow faster than exports, or none of the above. So friends, do tell me the right answer for question number 2. Read the question carefully. The question is about economic development, right? So you have to create a habit where you can read the question patiently. ठीक है, आपको आराम से question पढ़ना है, so that जो key terms you can easily highlight and answer accordingly. So Nilesh is saying option number 2D, that is imports grow faster than exports. Okay, guys, you all have to participate in the session. So the right answer for this question is option number C, right? Option number C is the right answer for this question. So guys, we are talking about economic development, right? Economic development, so it includes not only economic growth but also various other economic changes that improve the quality of life or standard of living of people of country, right? So basically the question is about the economic development and not the economic growth, right? Because economic growth is already a part of economic development. So if with economic growth a country experiences various economic changes such as reduction in poverty and unemployment, reduction in income and wealth inequality, increase in literacy rate, improvement in health and hygiene, etc., that improve the quality of life, then that is economic development, right? So I hope you are getting what is the difference between economic growth and economic development. That is why the right answer is option number C. So those who are saying C, their answer is correct. Right, now let's move to the question number 3. So guys, question number 3 is very interesting question जो कि generally पूछ लिया जाता है आपके examination में. So the question is, what inflation rate RBI is mandated to maintain in the economy? So your options are 4%, 2%, 6%, 5% or 8%. So guys, tell me what is the right answer for question number 3. Read the question carefully, then try to answer that. So Nitin is saying option number A, Ashwini is saying C, Nisha is saying 4%, SNS Kumar A. So mostly you guys are saying option number A, right? A few of you are saying option number C as well, that is 6%. Guys, read the question carefully. So the right answer for this question is option number A, that is 4%, right? So if we talk about the rate, that is in May 2016, the RBI of India, that is Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, was amended to provide statutory basis for the implementation of the flexible inflation targeting framework. So the amended RBI Act also provides for the inflation target to be set by the Government of India in consultation with the Reserve Bank of India once in every 5 years. So basically the rate which RBI has to maintain is 4%. Plus minus 2%, right? Plus minus 2%, which means it is in the range of 2% to 6%. But basically the rate which RBI should try to maintain is 4%, right? So this you need to remember, because 2% to 6% is a range, but exact rate if we talk about, so it is 4%, right? So this you need to remember. So those who are saying option number 4, those who are saying 4%, their answer is correct, right? So rest of the explanation you can easily read So with upper tolerance limit of 6% and the lower tolerance limit of 2%. On March 31, 2021, the central government retained the inflation target and the tolerance band for the next 5-year period, that is April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2026. So this you have to remember, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन ऐसा भी पूछा जा सकता है कि what is the rate which RBI has to maintain currently. ठीक है, तो currently के केस में this rate has been extended by the government from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2026. So this you need to remember, right? Now, let's move to the question number 4. So guys, question number 4 is the type of unemployment that arises during the transitioning period from one job to another. That is, when a worker is searching for job is known as, your options are frictional unemployment, cyclical unemployment, structural unemployment, disguised unemployment, or none of the above. Tell me guys, what is the right answer for this question? Nilesh is saying 4th A, that is frictional unemployment. Okay, Nitin is saying 4th A. चलिए फ्रेंड्स, बाकी लोग भी पार्टिसिपेट करें. What is the right answer for question number 4th? So you guys mostly are saying option number A, that is frictional unemployment, right? So the right answer for this question is option number A, that is frictional unemployment. So almost everyone is saying option number A, so you all are correct, right guys? So it is a temporary phenomena. In other words, frictional unemployment is the time period between jobs when a worker is searching for or transitioning from one job to another. ठीक है, जब भी एक जॉब से दूसरे जॉब में स्विच करना होता है, उसके बीच में जो भी टाइम पीरियड होता है where that person is unemployed, so that period is known as frictional unemployment period, right? उस पीरियड को हम बोलते हैं frictional unemployment period. So it is sometimes called search engine and can be voluntary based on the circumstances of the unemployed individual, right? So I hope you are getting. Now let's move to the question number 5th. So guys, question number 5th is, which of the following is the correct formula for finding the unemployment rate? Okay, read the question carefully. The question is about the formula of unemployment rate. So your options are unemployment rate is equal to unemployment workers divided by total number of divided by total labor force multiplied by 100, or it is number of people employed divided by total labor force multiplied by 100. So guys, what is the right answer, guys? Tell me the right answer for this question. Okay, so we have the combination of B and A. Nikhil is saying C. So guys, the right answer for this question is option number C. Option number B, right? So this you need to remember. The unemployment rate, it is the percent of the labor force that is without work. So unemployment rate is unemployed workers divided by total labor force multiplied by 100. So guys, this you need to remember. This is very important concept which you need to remember, because this can be asked in your examination, right? This question has potential to be asked in the examination, so you have to remember that. So the question is, what is labor force? So labor force, also called workforce, is the total number of people employed or seeking employment in a country or region. Thus labor force constitutes both employed as well as unemployed. ठीक है, तो labor force में दोनों आ जाएंगे, that is employed as well as unemployed person. One is classified as not in labor force if he or she engaged in relatively longer period in any one of the non-gainful activities, or we can say those who are neither seeking nor available for work. So I hope you got it. You got the formula of unemployment rate. So guys, you have to understand this formula. This is very important. This can be asked in your examination. Now let's move to the question number 6. So guys, question number 6 is, the National Sample Survey Organization (NSSO) comes under which of the following ministries of the Government of India? Your options are Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, that is MOSPI, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Home Affairs, or Ministry of Labor and Employment. Read the question carefully, then try to answer. Friends, do mention question number, please. It's a request. Question number, please mention kare, so that I do not get confused what question you are referring here. So those who are not mentioning, guys, do mention question number before marking your answer. So 6th ka we are getting option number A. So you all are saying option number A, right? So the right answer for this question is option number A, that is MOSPI. So the National Sample Survey Office, that is NSSO, is headed by Director General and comes under the National Statistical Office. of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, right? So it is responsible for conduct of large scale sample surveys in diverse fields on all India basis. So this is the duty of NSO, right? Then primarily data are collected through nationwide household surveys on various socio-economic subjects, annual survey of industries, etc. Besides these surveys, NSSO collects data on rural and urban prices and plays a significant role in the improvement of crop statistics through supervision of the area, enumeration and crop estimation surveys of the state agencies. It also maintains a frame of urban area units for use in sample surveys in urban areas, right? So whenever you read about any body, you have to know the mandate of that body, ठीक है, उसके powers क्या है, उसके responsibilities क्या है, उसका structure क्या है. This is very important as far as economic bodies are concerned, right? Economic bodies are concerned, so you have to have idea about their mandate. ठीक है, आपको idea होना चाहिए because they can be asked in the form of multiple questions. Now guys, now let's move to the question number 7. So question number 7 is arrange the following committees in chronological order in terms of their formation. So your options are Dandekar and Rath committee, Lakdawala committee, Alag committee and Tendulkar committee, right? So you have to arrange in the terms of their formation, right? So which of the statement given above are correct? So these are your options, that is 3241, 1423, 1324, 4213 or 2134. Which of the following is correct? I will tell you the trick to remember the committee's name in terms of their formation, right? But first of all, you have to solve this. Question number 7th, C, 1324. Okay, so you guys mostly are saying option number C, that is 1324, right? So you all are correct. You all are correct, right guys? So right answer of all this question is option number C. So here it is. First of all, in 1962, working group was constituted. Then 1972, study by B.M. Dandekar and N. Rath. Then after that, task force on projections of minimum needs and effective consumption demand, headed by Dr. Y.K. Alag. Then after that, Lakdawala expert group. Then Tendulkar expert group and Ranga Rajan committee. So this is the sequence, right? So if those who do not know, उनके लिए एक अच्छा formula guys, DUL. You need to remember DUL. Dandekar and Rath committee, Alag committee, Lakdawala committee, and after that Tendulkar committee and Ranga Rajan committee. So what is DUL? DUL is a lake, right? Which is in J and K. Okay, DUL lake. We all have heard about it, right? So by this way you can, by using this mnemonics, you can use. You can remember the committees formed in terms of their formation year. ठीक है, कब इनको form किया गया था? So this you can remember by using this mnemonics, that is DUL lake. Now let's move to the question number 8. So question number 8 is head count ratio is widely used in India as a measure of, if your options are poverty, inequality, income, population or employment. Tell me guys, we are talking about head count ratio. Nilesh is saying option number 8 ka A, that is poverty. Okay. Nisha Yadav is saying poverty. Okay, so almost everyone is saying option number A, right? That is poverty. So guys, the right answer for this question is option number A only, that is poverty. So key points about head count ratio, you can read this explanation. The head count ratio is the proportion of population that exists or lives below the line of poverty. It is defined as when the number of poor is estimated as the proportion of people below the line of poverty. It is known as head count ratio. So in India, head count ratio was last reported at 21.9% in 2011 and 12. Right? Rest of the things you can easily cover. You can. This is the extended explanation of this concept, so you can read it from here itself. So I hope you are getting. You know very well that head count ratio is a measure of poverty, right? So those who are saying English topper material, he's saying 8th D, right? No, it's the right answer is option number A only. Now question number 9 guys, read the phrase carefully. In this type of unemployment, unemployed person is the one who seems to be employed but actually he is not. His contribution to the total output is zero or negligible. Then when more people are engaged in a job than actually required, state of this kind of unemployment is created. So it is mostly seen in rural areas. Your options are, which of the following is best described in the passage given above? Your options are structured unemployment, disguised unemployment, cyclical unemployment, seasonal employment, or none of the above. Tell me question number 9th. Aditi is saying option number B, that is disguised. Okay. Nilesh is saying disguised. So mostly you guys are saying option number B, that is disguised unemployment, right? So let's see the right answer. So right answer for this question is option number B only, that is disguised unemployment. So a disguisedly unemployed person is the one who seems to be employed but actually he is not. His contribution to the total output is zero or negligible. When more people are engaged in job than actually required, a state of disguised unemployment is created. It is mostly seen in rural areas. सो हम देख सकते हैं फ्रेंड्स, जहां पर भी सपोज एक एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड है जहां पर रिक्वायरमेंट है वहां पे 2 पर्संस की, बट वहां पर 4 पर्संस आर एंगेज्ड, सो these 2 persons are doing nothing, right? So their productivity is zero. So if we remove these 2 persons from this field, then यहाँ पे कुछ भी फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है and output remains same. So I hope you are getting what is the concept of disguised unemployment. ठीक है? Now let's move to the question number 10th. So guys, question number 10th is, which one of the following is the correct sequence in the decreasing order of contribution of different sectors to the gross domestic product of India? Read the question carefully guys. यहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे हैं correct sequence in decreasing order, right? So you have to highlight the keywords mentioned in the question. Your options are services, industry or agriculture, services, agriculture, industry, services, agriculture, industry, agriculture, services, or agriculture, industry, services. बताइए जी, what is the right answer for question number 10th? Nilesh is saying 10th A, Satyam Yadav A. So you all are saying option number A except Aniket, who is saying option number B, that is services, agriculture and industry, right? So the right answer for this question is option number A. ठीक है, जो भी A बोल रहे हैं, their answer is correct. So primary sector contributes around 18% to GDP, but around 54% of workforce are engaged in this sector, which is the data from Economic Survey 2020-2021. Secondary sector contributes around 25.8% to GDP, but around 18% of workforce are engaged in this sector. Then tertiary sector contributes over 54% to GDP, but around 28% of workforce are engaged in this sector, right? So you can see here the decreasing trend of different sectors. Okay guys, now let's move to the question number 11 then. So question number 11 is, which of the following is incorrect regarding wholesale price index? Again you have to read the question carefully. We are talking about incorrect statement, and second is we are talking about wholesale price index. So this you need to remember, that you have to highlight the keyword whether the question is asking about the correct statement or incorrect statement, because mostly we are not able to identify and we commit mistakes in the examination. बताइए what is the right answer for question number 11th? Guys, please mention question number. I requested you already, I am again requesting you, please mention question number before marking your answer. Nilesh is saying 11th D, Nisha D. Okay, so you mostly you guys are saying option number D, that is it includes 676 items. Okay, so let's see the right answer. So right answer for this question is option number D. So if we talk about wholesale price index, so wholesale price index measures the average change in the prices of commodities for bulk sale at the level of early stage of transactions, right? It is published by the Office of Economic Advisor, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The base year is 2011-12. Then the index basket of the WPI covers commodities falling under the 3 major groups, namely primary articles, fuel and power, and manufactured products. Then the number of items covered in the new series of WPI has increased from 676 to 697. Okay? So this has been increased from 676 to 697. This you need to remember. So these all are the factual details about the wholesale price index, which you have to read and you have to keep in your mind, because question can be asked in any form from any of these statements. So this you need to remember. So this is very important. All indices like IIP, index of industrial production, that is wholesale price index, consumer price index, all these indices are very much important, which you have to have idea about, right? The releasing agency of these indices are again also very much important. So these all are the areas which can be asked in your examination in the form of MCQs. Now guys, let's move to the question number 12. So question number 12 is Montreal Protocol aims to achieve which of the following? So your options are protect human health and the environment from anthropogenic emissions and releases of mercury. Then second is protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of numerous substances that are responsible for ozone depletion. Then limit global warming to the 2 degrees Celsius increase from pre-industrial level. Then provide access to genetic resources and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their utilization, or none of the above. These kind of questions are generally asked in your examination because these questions are quite lengthy in nature, right? But you have to maintain speed. आपको एक ही बार क्वेश्चन पढ़ना और अच्छे से पढ़ना है, so that you are not supposed to waste much time in any particular question, because all questions have equal marks, right? So this you have to remember. Now guys, question number 12. So Nilesh is saying option number. Nilesh is saying ozone layer. Jyoti is saying 12th B. So almost you all are saying option number B, right? So the right answer for this question is option number B, that is for the protection of ozone layer. So Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer is an international treaty designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out the production of numerous substances that are responsible for ozone depletion. Okay? Now guys, question number 13. So question number 13 is the money multiplier in an economy increases with which of the following? Your options are increase in CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, increase in the banking habit of the population, increase in statutory liquidity ratio, increase in the population of the country, or all of the above. Read the question carefully, friends. Nilesh is saying 13th B, Nikhil is saying 13th B. Banking habit, okay. So you all are saying option number B. Guys, do mention question number. Satyam, आपने question number mention नहीं किया है. You have to mention the question number before marking your answer. Priyanka, SNS Kumar, you all are saying option number B, right? So I hope you have a conceptual clarity कि मनी मल्टीप्लायर का यूज किस तरीके से होगा और मनी मल्टीप्लायर किस फॉर्म में काम करता है, राइट? सो यू ऑल हैव क्लैरिटी अबाउट दिस. सो द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी ओनली. So money multiplier, when a customer makes a deposit into short-term deposit account, the banking institution can lend to someone else while the original depositor maintains ownership of their initial deposit. The funds created through lending are generated based on those funds. So if a second borrower subsequently deposit funds received from the lending institution, this raises the value of the money supply, even though no additional physical currency actually exists to support the new amount. ठीक है, इस तरीके से ये काम करता है मनी मल्टीप्लायर का जो प्रोसेस है, राइट? So अगर यहाँ पर बैंक्स में अगर डिपॉजिट्स नहीं जाएंगे, then it would be very difficult for banks to multiply their money, right? So the money multiplier mechanism will not work in that case. So for that, banking habit of the population is necessary. So this is the best option, right? This is the best option which you can choose. Now let's move to the question number 14. So question number 14 is in the context of Indian economy, open market operations refers to. Your options are borrowing by scheduled banks from the RBI, lending by commercial banks to industry and trade. Option number C is purchase and sale of government securities by the RBI. Option number D is both A and B, and option number E is all of the above. So guys, what is the right answer for this question? Question number 11th, sorry, question number 14th. Nilesh is saying option number C. Nikhil, Satyam, Jyoti, Priyanka, Ashwini, Nisha, Venus, you all are saying option number C, that is purchase and sale of government securities by the Reserve Bank of India, right? So you all are correct. The right answer for this question is option number C only. So open market operations are market operations conducted by RBI by way of sale and purchase of government securities to and from the market with an objective to adjust the rupee liquidity conditions in the market on a durable basis. If there is excess liquidity, RBI resorts to the sale of securities and sucks out the rupee liquidity, and it is one of the quantitative monetary policy tools that are employed by the central bank of a country to control the money supply in the economy, right? So you all are aware about the concept about this mechanism of open market operation, how it works. So I hope you guys are getting right. Now let's move to the question number 15. So question number 15 is which of the following is correct regarding inflation? Very interesting topic and the favorite area of the Reserve Bank of India. So your options are: controlling the inflation in India is the responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India only. The government of India has no role in controlling the inflation. Then decreased money circulation helps in controlling the inflation. And option number D is increased money circulation helps in controlling the inflation, or none of the above. Read the question carefully, read the options carefully, then try to answer. Nilesh is saying 15C, Satyam, Nikhil, Isha, you all are saying option number C. Priyanka is saying option number A. So what is the right answer for this question? The right answer for this question is option number C itself, right? So those who are saying C, their answer is correct. So controlling the inflation in India is the responsibility of both the government of India and the Reserve Bank of India. So both discharge their responsibility through fiscal and monetary policy. Okay? So fiscal policy is issued by the government of India and monetary policy is issued by the Reserve Bank of India. So basically they both are involved in controlling the inflation. Then decreased money supply will lead to higher interest rates in the economy, which in turn lead to less demand of loans, resulting bringing down the inflation rate in the economy. Vice versa will be the case with increased money supply. ठीक है? I hope you are getting guys किस तरीके से mechanism काम करता है inflation का. Now let's move to the question number 16. So dumping in the context of international trade means your options are reducing tariffs for imports, sale of goods abroad at lower price below their cost and price in their home market, then buying goods at low prices abroad and selling at higher prices locally, then expensive goods being sold for low prices, none of the above. बताइए जी क्वेश्चन नंबर 16th. So Nilesh is saying B, Nikhil, SNS is saying D, Nikhil is saying option number E. So we have the mixed combination of B, C, B, E, D. But mostly you are saying option number B, right? That is sale of goods abroad at lower price below their cost and price in their home market. So guys, this is the right answer. So those who are saying option number B, so this is correct, right? Dumping. So B is the right answer for this question. So dumping is a term used in the context of international trade. It is when a country or company exports a product at price that is lower in the foreign importing market than the price in the exporter's domestic market, right? So this is called dumping. ठीक है? Dump करना, you can simply understand the meaning. Dump करना means वहां पर जो भी होम कंट्री में जो भी प्राइसेस चल रहे हैं उससे कम में चीजों को बेचना वहां पर उसके लोकल मार्केट में. This is called dumping, right? So you can easily understand by understanding the meaning of dumping. So this is simply dumping. The term dumping itself reveals its concept, right? I hope you are getting guys. Now let's move to the question number 17. So question number 17 is which of the following is not a component of India's forex reserve? Your options are foreign currency assets, gold reserves, special drawing rights, India's reserve position in the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, or none of the above. बताइए friends, what is the right answer for question number 17? Okay, so you all are saying option number E, none of the above, right? Okay, so Priyanka is saying, sir, most questions are based on current affairs in exam. What about those questions? Guys, this is a very interesting question. A lot of aspirants have doubt in their mind that ESI static, if we talk about ESI static, it has a less weightage, which is true, right? It has a less weightage, but one thing you need to understand, that questions which are asked from the static, if suppose 5 questions are asked from the ESI static and that too based on the easy concept, so should you prepare that or not prepare that? So it is up to you, because you are enough intelligent, you know very well the importance of 5 marks. ठीक है? तो आपको वो marks आपको छोड़ने नहीं है. These all are the bonus marks, right? Bonus marks which can definitely ensure your name in the interview list, right? तो आपको यहाँ पर कोई भी चीजें नहीं छोड़नी है. You have to cover each and everything, and static though has a less weightage but play a very crucial role. ठीक है? बहुत ही important role है ऐसा static का, जहाँ पर चीजें concept बेस पर बहुत ही 2 क्वेश्चन कम आते हैं but easy क्वेश्चन आते हैं. These all are bonus marks which you should have. ठीक है, जो आपको लेने ही लेने हैं, दैट इज वाई ESI स्टैटिक को आपको कवर करना है बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से। दो यू हैव टू फोकस मोस्टली ऑन करंट अफेयर्स, बट स्टैटिक को आप स्किप नहीं कर सकते हैं। So which of the following is not a component of India's forex reserve? Right answer for this question is option number E, right? So those who are saying E, their answer is correct. So guys, foreign exchange assets serve many purposes but are most significantly held to ensure that the central bank has backup funds if the national currency rapidly devalues or becomes altogether insolvent. So there are four components of forex reserves are foreign currency assets, gold, special drawing rights and the reserve position in the International Monetary Fund. ठीक है, तो जो भी ऑप्शन नंबर ई बोल रहे थे, their answer is correct. Now guys, question number 18. What will happen if the interest rate is decreased in an economy? So your options are decrease the consumption expenditure in the economy, increase the investment expenditure in the economy, increase the total savings in the economy, all of the above or none of the above. Read the question carefully. Eighteenth B. So mostly you are saying B. Nilesh is saying 18th D, that is all of the above. Okay. Isha is saying 18th D. बताइए friends, what is the right answer for this question? You all have to participate. Only few aspirants are participating. सभी को participate करना है, ये आपके benefit के लिए ही है यहाँ पर. Priyanka is saying 18th B. Okay, so we have the mixed combination of B and D, but the right answer for this question is increase the investment expenditure in the economy, right? So B is the right answer. So low interest rates are supposed to help spur growth. The theory is that low rates will encourage governments, business and consumers to borrow and spend more freely. This will result in higher demand by consumers and investment by corporations. ठीक है, suppose अगर आप एक चीज यहाँ पर समझिए कि suppose earlier interest rate in the economy was 10%, right? 10%. But if now interest rate is brought down to 5%. अब इस केस में क्या होगा? Whatever loan you take, now you have to pay the interest of 5%. ठीक है, तो जो लोग भी प्लान कर रहे थे, suppose those who are planning to buy a car, so right, this is the right time to buy a car, right? 5% क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट रेट 5% है, तो आपके लिए बेटर है कि आप अभी कार ले लें, क्योंकि फ्यूचर इज ऑल अबाउट अनसर्टेनिटी. ठीक है, आपको वहां पर नहीं मालूम कि इंटरेस्ट रेट 10% होगा कि 12% होगा. सो दिस इज द राइट टाइम. सो बेसिकली व्हेनेवर इंटरेस्ट रेट इज डाउन इन द इकोनॉमी, डिमांड इंक्रीजेस. ठीक है, लोन की डिमांड बढ़ जाती है. और लोन की डिमांड क्यों बढ़ जाती है? क्योंकि हमें चीजों को कंज्यूम करना होता है, राइट? जो कार में अभी 2 साल बाद खरीदने वाला था, दैट कार आई विल बाई राइट एट दिस मोमेंट इटसेल्फ. सो दिस विल इंक्रीज द कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर एज वेल एज द इन्वेस्टमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर बाय द कॉर्पोरेशंस. बिकॉज जो भी सपोज कोई भी कॉर्पोरेट से कोई भी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, दोज हु आर प्लानिंग टू एक्सपैंड, earlier they were getting around 10 to 12% of interest rate, right? But right now these interest rates are brought down to 5%. So this is the best time for the industries or corporations to invest more, right? So they will take loan and this will increase in investment expenditure, right? Investment expenditure. और सेविंग्स की बात करें तो अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट इकोनॉमी में कम है, देन यू विल नॉट सेव. आप अपने अकाउंट में पैसे नहीं रखेंगे, बिकॉज दैट विल बी डियरर फॉर यू, राइट? सो बेसिकली दिस विल डिक्रीज द सेविंग एंड इंक्रीज द इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग, ठीक है, द कंसेप्ट. So Priyanka is saying, how do we know whether question is talking about interest rate of loan or savings? Priyanka, whenever interest rate is up or down in the economy, it affects both loan as well as savings. ठीक है, दोनों को ही अफेक्ट करता है. दो प्रोपोर्शन अलग होता है. बैंक्स प्ले वेरी इंटेलिजेंट कार्ड. वो लोन्स पर तो चीजों को ज्यादा बढ़ा देते हैं, बट डिपॉजिट में वो चीजों को उतना ज्यादा तक वहां पर ट्रांसफॉर्म नहीं कर पाते, ट्रांजिशन नहीं हो पाता जो भी रेट होते हैं. बट इट अफेक्ट्स बोथ लोन एज वेल एज सेविंग्स. ठीक है, so remember this, that whenever interest rate is changed in the economy, it affects both loan as well as savings. Now let's move to the question number 19. So question number 19 is, there has been persistent deficit budget year after year. Which actions of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? Your options are reducing revenue expenditure, introducing new welfare schemes, rationalizing subsidies, or reducing import duty. So read the question carefully. The question is about which action of the following can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit. This is the key word here, which you need to keep in your mind while answering this question. Nilesh is saying 19th A, that is first and third. Okay. बाकी लोग भी बताएं जी, what is the right answer for this question? Isha is saying 19th A, Nikhil is saying 19th A. So guys, the right answer for this question is option number A only, right? So budget deficit is used to define a status of financial health in which expenditures exceeded revenue. So introducing new welfare scheme by budgetary support will expand the budget expenditure, which will widen the deficit. ठीक है, हम बात कर रहे हैं डेफिसिट को कंट्रोल करने की, but whenever new welfare schemes are introduced by the government, so that will increase the deficit, क्योंकि वहां पर गवर्नमेंट को और लोन लेना पड़ेगा उस वेलफेयर स्कीम को प्रॉपर तरीके से इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए, which will definitely widen the deficit. Then similarly, reducing import duty will lead to less revenue. ठीक है, earlier government was getting more revenue in the form of import duty, but if it reduces import duty, then it will definitely lead to less revenue for the government, which leads to increase in budget deficit. Then rationalizing subsidies and reducing revenue expenditure are two direct ways of reducing the fiscal burden of the government of India. ठीक है, अगर पहले सब्सिडीज में अगर 100 रुपीज गवर्नमेंट दे रही थी, बट नाउ गवर्नमेंट इसको डिक्रीज करके 80 रुपीज कर देती है, एंड अगर रिवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर पहले गवर्नमेंट 100 रुपीज खर्च कर रही थी और नाउ इसको 60 रिड्यूस कर दिया, सो इन बोथ केसेस गवर्नमेंट विल बी एबल टू रिड्यूस देयर फिस्कल बर्डन और डेफिसिट को कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है, राइट? सो आई होप यू आर गेटिंग. सो इकोनॉमिक्स इज ऑल अबाउट कनेक्टिंग द डॉट्स. ठीक है, वो सारी चीजें आप देखते हैं, बट यू हैव टू यूज योर माइंड व्हाइल आंसरिंग एनी क्वेश्चन, एंड दिस काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आर वेरी इजी. यू हैव टू रीड द स्टेटमेंट केयरफुली, और आपको उस चीज को थिंक एनालाइज करना है कि व्हाट वुड बी द इंपैक्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन. ठीक है, सो दैट यू नीड टू कीप इन योर माइंड, एंड इकोनॉमिक्स इज ऑल अबाउट द लॉजिक. ठीक है, आप सारी चीजें देखते हैं, देयर इज नथिंग न्यू which you are going to read or which you are going to see. If you are continuously reading newspaper and if you are observing things around you, then you can definitely answer. And guys, always remember one important method, that is elimination method. ठीक है, elimination method is a very important tool through which you can solve a lot of questions, जो कि application based, mostly application based question you can solve with the help of elimination technique. So always keep in your mind, जब भी एग्जाम में जाए ये टेक्निक को कभी नहीं भूलना है. You have to use this technique, right? चलिए जी, बढ़ते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 की तरफ. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 20 इज which of the following can be used as a counter inflationary tool? Read the question carefully, highlight the keyword. The keyword is counter inflationary tool. So the options are increase in government expenditure, cutting tax rates, increase in मनरेगा wages, decrease in LPG subsidy, or none of the above. बताइए फ्रेंड्स, what is the right answer for question number 20th? Nilesh is saying 20th D, that is decrease in LPG subsidy. 20th B, cutting tax rates. Guys, you all have to participate. आप सभी को participate करना है इस सेशन में, irrespective of the fact whether you know the concept, you do not know the concept, you have to participate, because whenever we commit mistakes, generally हमारा जो conscious mind में वो चीजें save हो जाती हैं, and next time whenever that concept appear in front of us, then it is most probable that we are not going to commit the same mistake, right? So this you need to remember. You have to participate in the session as much as possible. So बताएं question number 20th. So we have the option number B, D, but mostly you guys are saying option number D only. So the right answer for this question is option number D, that is decrease in LPG subsidy. ठीक है, so D is the right answer for this question. So increase in government expenditure will lead to more disposable income in the hands of the people, which will in turn lead to more demand and higher inflation, right? Then cutting tax rates, question number B, option number B is cutting tax rates. So option number B is cutting tax rates will lead to more disposable income in the hands of the people, which will in turn lead to more demand and higher inflation. Then increase in मनरेगा wages will lead to more disposable income in the hands of the people, which will in turn lead to more demand and higher inflation. But decrease in LPG subsidies, if we talk about decrease in LPG subsidies, that will lead to less disposable income. ठीक है, earlier government subsidies कितना दे रही थी, 100 rupees, but now government is giving 60 rupees as a subsidy. तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा, जो disposable income लोगों की रहेगी वो कम हो जाएगी. The simple example is LPG subsidy, right? You all, आप सभी को याद होगा that LPG subsidy earlier हम कितना around 300-400 LPG subsidies we were getting, right? But now 4 rupees और 5 rupees LPG subsidy we are getting. So यहाँ पर कितना ज्यादा difference है, 400 से सीधा 4 to 5 rupees. So here our disposable income is less now. Earlier we have 400 rupees in hand, but now we have 4 rupees or 5 rupees in hand. So यहाँ पे disposable income जो है वो कम हो गई, which will lead to less demand and lower inflation. ठीक है, अगर डिमांड हमारी कम रहेगी then price will automatically come down and this will lead to lower inflation in the economy. So you have to connect the dots. ठीक है, आपको इसी तरीके से डॉट्स को कनेक्ट करना है एंड नथिंग इज न्यू. कुछ भी यहाँ पे लॉजिक नहीं लगाना है, कुछ भी आपको कुछ भी बहुत ज्यादा अलग से आपको पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, रिसर्च की जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन सिंपली यूज दिस टेक्निक्स. ठीक है, आप सिंपली लॉजिक यूज कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन इजिली रीच टू द राइट आंसर. यहाँ पे एलपीजी वाला एग्जांपल आप देख सकते हैं, हम सभी ये सारी चीजें हमने देखी हुई है. So by using your simple logic, by using simple calculation, you can reach to the right answer. Now guys, let's move to the question number 21. So question number 21, which of the following best describes the meaning of accommodative monetary policy? ठीक है, बहुत ज्यादा न्यूज में था ये टर्म्स, ये वाला टर्म अभी, accommodative monetary policy. So what is the meaning of accommodative monetary policy? ठीक है, तो ऑप्शंस आर व्हेन अ सेंट्रल बैंक अटेम्प्ट्स टू एक्सपैंड द ओवरऑल मनी सप्लाई व्हेन ग्रोथ इज स्लोइंग. देन ऑप्शन नंबर बी इज व्हेन अ सेंट्रल बैंक अटेम्प्ट्स टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट द ओवरऑल मनी सप्लाई व्हेन ग्रोथ इज राइजिंग. देन ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज व्हेन अ सेंट्रल बैंक attempts to maintain neutral stance in overall money supply. Then option number D is when a central bank attempts to expand the overall money supply when economy is rising, or none of the above. So guys, read the question carefully, then try to answer. बताइए जी, रीड द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली, व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर? So 21C, we are getting 21A, B, C also. Okay, so we have the combination of A, B, C. So the right answer for this question is option number A, right? So an accommodative stance means the central bank is prepared to expand the money supply to boost economic growth. The central bank during an accommodative monetary policy period is willing to cut the interest rate. ठीक है, यहाँ पर बात कर रहे हैं विलिंग की, यहाँ पर एक्चुअल में रिड्यूस किया जाए या ना किया जाए, बट आरबीआई इज विलिंग टू कट द इंटरेस्ट रेट्स. A rate hike is ruled out. The central bank typically adopts an accommodative policy when growth needs policy support and inflation is not the immediate concern. ठीक है, जब भी इन्फ्लेशन का कंसर्न नहीं है, बट यहाँ पर आरबीआई चाहती है कि वो ग्रोथ को प्रमोट कर सके. इन दैट केस दे आर विलिंग, दे आर रेडी टू कट द इंटरेस्ट रेट्स इन द इकोनॉमी. एंड यू नो, whenever the interest rate, whenever there is a less interest rates or whenever the interest rate is down in the economy, demand increases. ठीक है, जैसा कि हमने भी डिस्कस किया था, the car which you are planning to buy, the car which you are planning to buy 2 years later, but now due to less interest rates in the economy, you will buy it immediately, right? So that is why whenever there is a less interest rates in the economy, demand will automatically increase, and when demand increase, production increase, and whenever production increase, there will be a growth in the economy, right? So this is accommodative stance where RBI is willing to cut the interest rate. Whether it cuts or not, that doesn't matter. It is willing to cut the interest rates. Another important terms are a neutral stance. Suggests that the central bank can either cut rate or increase rate. ठीक है, this stance is typically adopted when the policy priority is equal on both inflation and growth. During neutral policy, the central bank doesn't commit to hike rates or cut. The interest rate can move to either sides depending on incoming data. Then hawkish stance indicates that a central bank's top priority is to keep the inflation low. ठीक है, this is hawkish stance. These terms can be asked in your examination and believe me, they are very important. क्योंकि ये न्यूज में भी इस समय चल रहे हैं, so you have to remember, you have to have idea about these concepts. So if you talk about hawkish stance, then it indicates that central bank's top priority is to keep the inflation low. During such a phase, the central bank is willing to hike interest rates. ठीक है, you know, whenever RBI wants to keep the inflation low रखने का क्या तरीका है? इकोनॉमी में इंटरेस्ट रेट को राइज कर दो, and whenever interest rate is high in the economy, your demand will definitely increase. क्योंकि जो कार आप अभी परचेज करना चाह रहे थे, अब आप उसको परचेज नहीं करेंगे, because you will be waiting for the right time. Suppose if interest rate is 10% right now in the economy, so you will wait to reduce it to 8% or 7%, right? So आपकी डिमांड कम हो जाएगी, and whenever your demand comes, अगर आपकी डिमांड डाउन हो जाती है, आपकी डिमांड नहीं रहती है, then it will lead to less production in the economy, and less production मतलब यहाँ पर जो हमारे यहाँ पर जो इन्फ्लेशन है वो लो हो जाएगी, क्योंकि डिमांड अगर लो हो जाएगी तो प्राइसेस हमारे यहाँ लो हो जाएंगे, एंड इफ प्राइसेस विल बी लो देन इन दैट केस इन्फ्लेशन विल लो इन द इकोनॉमी. सो आई होप you are connecting the dots, right? So this is hawkish stance. And if you talk about calibrated tightening, then it means during the current rate cycle a cut in the repo rate is off the table, but the rate hike will happen in calibrated manner. This means the central bank may not go for a rate increase in every policy meeting, but the overall policy stance is tilted towards a rate hike. ठीक है, यहाँ पर कोई श्योर नहीं है कि रेट हाइक करेंगे, बट यहाँ पर रेट हाइक किया जा सकता है. सो दिस इज कैलिब्रेटेड टाइटनिंग. दिस कैन हैपन आउटसाइड द पॉलिसी मीटिंग्स एज वेल एज इफ द सिचुएशन वारंट्स. ठीक है, जरूरी नहीं कि वो जो बाई मंथली पॉलिसी बाई मंथली जो मीटिंग होती है, हर 2 मंथ्स में जो मीटिंग होती है, जरूरी नहीं कि वहां पर ही वेट किया जाए ऑफ द टेबल. यहाँ पर चीजों को अलग से मीटिंग करके भी बढ़ाया जा सकता है. सो दिस इज द स्टैंस ऑफ कैलिब्रेटेड टाइटनिंग. राइट फ्रेंड्स, तो आई होप ये सारे कंसेप्ट्स आपको समझ में आए. दे आर वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 इज स्पेशल ड्रॉइंग राइट्स आर आल्सो नोन एज, योर ऑप्शंस आर डिजिटल गोल्ड, पेपर गोल्ड, कोल्ड मनी, हॉट मनी, नन ऑफ दीज. बताइए व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 22. Nilesh is saying 22B, Isha is saying 22B, that is paper gold. Okay, बाकी लोग बताएं. Guys, again I am repeating the same thing. You have to participate in the session, and believe me, यहाँ पे जो भी आप participate करेंगे सेशन में, that will be beneficial for you in your actual examination. SNS Kumar is saying skip, no issue, you can attempt. यहाँ पर कोई भी we do not have the provision of negative marking here. ठीक है, यहाँ पर किसी भी तरीके की पेनल्टी नहीं की जाएगी. You can make a blind guess. Okay, so most of you are saying option number B. So it is called paper gold, right? So special drawing rights of the international monetary funds are also called paper gold. They are allotted to member countries by the IMF. ठीक है, so this you need to remember. This is factual thing which you need to remember. जो भी SDR होते हैं, that is allotted by the international monetary fund, and it is also called paper gold, right? So basically this is a kind of quota. ठीक है, SDR is basically kind of quota जो IMF के members होते हैं उनको allot किया जाता है, assign किया जाता है, right? So basically this is the quota, जो कि उनका एक राइट होता है वहां पर. सो दे कैन यूज देयर एसडीआर भी यूज कर सकते हैं. सपोज अगर आपको कहीं भी पेमेंट भी करना है, सो यू कैन यूज योर एसडीआर. ठीक है, आप एसडीआर वहां पे यूज कर सकते हैं. सो इट इज बेसिकली फॉर्म ऑफ करेंसी. ठीक है, रिमेंबर हमने पढ़ा था कि फॉरेन हमारे जो फॉरेन रिजर्व असेट्स हैं, जो फॉरेक्स रिजर्व है हमारे, उसमें एसडीआर का जो पोजीशन होती है दैट इज आल्सो कंसीडर्ड. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कंसीडर्ड, क्योंकि फॉर्म ऑफ करेंसी है एंड यू कैन इजीली यूज दैट. Question number 23. The fair and remunerative price of sugarcane is approved by. Read the question carefully and mark the highlight the यहाँ पर keyword जो भी है आपका. So keyword is approved, right? Your options are Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, that is CACP, then Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Ministry of Agriculture, then Agriculture Produce Market Committee or Finance Ministry. Guys, read the question carefully. The question is about approval, right? So you have to mark the keyword. Nilesh is saying 23A and saying recommended by CACP. Okay. बाकी लोग बताएं जी, what is the right answer for this question? (23D), (23B). So we have A, B, D as an option. Okay, so right answer for this question is option number A, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Guys, we are talking about the approval, right? Not recommending. So right answer of this question is option number A. So CACP recommends the fair and remunerative prices based on the intercrop price parity, inflation considerations, fair return to farmers and host of other factors, right? So the CACP जो body है that recommends, ठीक है, वो recommend करती है. It is the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs that finally approves it. So this is very important concept जो कि हमेशा न्यूज में रहता है. So you have to remember this. ठीक है, आपको ये चीजें याद रखना है. और रिसेंटली एमएसपी भी रिलीज हुआ है, दैट इज मैडी बोल रहे हैं कि यार बिल्कुल सही है, एमएसपी रिलीज हुआ है. तो आपको ये चीजें याद रखनी कि जो भी हमारा जो एफआरपी होता है दैट इज रिकमेंडेड बाय सीएसीपी एंड फाइनली इट इज अप्रूव्ड बाय द कैबिनेट कमिटी ऑन इकोनॉमिक अफेयर्स. ये क्वेश्चन कई बार पूछा भी जा चुका है बहुत सारे एग्जामिनेशंस में. सो दिस यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. Now guys, question number 24. So question number 24 is, with reference to the provisions made under the National Food Security Act 2013, consider the following statements. Your options are: the families coming under the category of below poverty line only are eligible to receive subsidized food grains. Option number 2 is, the eldest women in a household of age 18 years or above shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issuance of a ration card. Then option number 3 is, pregnant women and lactating mothers are entitled to take home ration of 1600 calories per day during pregnancy and for 6 months thereafter. Your options are 1 and 2, 2 only, 1 and 3, 3 only, or all of the above. बताइए फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 24? निखिल सिंह सर, इज सेम एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल क्रॉप्स? जी हाँ, मोस्टली क्रॉप्स के लिए यहाँ पर जो भी होता है वो सीएसईपी रिकमेंड्स करती है, कैबिनेट कमेटी ऑन इकोनॉमिक अफेयर्स फाइनली अप्रूव्स दैट. ठीक है, सो दिस यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. सो बेसिकली आपको वहां पर ध्यान देना है कि द वर्ड इज अप्रूवल और रिकमेंडेशन. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन में ये चीजें आपको ध्यान रखनी है और यू विल अटेम्प्ट द क्वेश्चन अकॉर्डिंगली. Question number 24, friends. Nilesh is saying 24th B. Ashwini is saying 24th B. Nilesh is saying only 2. Priyanka 24E B, right? So we have B and E as an option. So the right answer for this question is option number B only. So in 2013, National Food Security Act was enacted to provide food security to 67% of the population in the form of highly subsidized food grains at rupees 2 and 3 per kg for wheat and rice respectively. Beneficiaries are identified using SECC methodology. So even non-BPL will also benefit. So option number 1 is wrong. ठीक है. Then pregnant women and lactating mothers are entitled to a nutritious take-home ration of 600 calories and not the 1600 calories. And maternity benefit of at least rupees 6,000 for 6 months, says the official act. So third is wrong by elimination. We are the left with correct answer B, that is only 2. ठीक है. Again I am saying that you have to use the elimination technique. अगर आपको एक भी फैक्ट अच्छे से पता है, then in that case definitely this elimination technique will help you to mark the answer correct. ठीक है friends, so always try to use the elimination technique. So here are the salient features of the Food Securities Act which you can read. Now let's move to the question number 25. So question number 25 is, which measure is followed by the government to control inflation? You have to read the question carefully. You have to mark the keyword here. Your options are cash reserve ratio, repo rate, reverse repo rate, increase in taxes, or all of the above. Nilesh is saying 24th ka D. Satyam 24th E, that is all of the above. Okay. बाकी लोग बताएं. निखिल is saying 24th E, ईशा is E, अनूप मिश्रा 25th का D. Okay, great. So guys, I have already told you that you have to read the question carefully and options carefully. The question is about which measure is followed by the government. Read, that is why I am saying that you have to highlight the keyword, and the keyword is government here. ठीक है, so remember this. So cash reserve ratio, repo rate and reverse repo rate, these all are the tools of monetary policy, and increase in taxes is the tool of fiscal policy which is issued by the government. So this you have to remember. ठीक है, यहाँ पर आप mistake कर रहे हैं that you are not reading the question carefully. ठीक है, बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से पढ़ना है, otherwise you will commit same kind of mistakes in your actual examination. So D is the right answer. So cash reserve ratio, repo rate, reverse repo rate, these all are the quantitative tools of money supply used by the Reserve Bank of India for controlling inflation. Taxes are managed by the government through fiscal policy. तो जिन्होंने भी ऑप्शन नंबर डी बोला है, their answer is correct, right? Now let's move to the question number 26. So question number 26 is, which of the following best describes the meaning of fiscal deficit? Again, read the question carefully. So your options are the excess of revenue expenditure over revenue receipts, the excess of capital expenditure over capital receipts, the excess of total expenditure over total receipts excluding borrowing, then the excess of total expenditure over total receipts. Then option number E is none of the above. अच्छे से पढ़िए क्वेश्चन को गाइस, रीड द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली, देन ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट दैट। हाँ ओके, नीलेश, सम्यक, ज्योति, नवीन, यू ऑल आर सेइंग ऑप्शन नंबर सी। ईशा, निखिल, अनूप, सो ठीक है, लगभग सभी लोग ऑप्शन नंबर सी बोल रहे हैं। सो द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन नंबर सी ओनली, द एक्सेस ऑफ टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर ओवर टोटल रिसीट्स एक्सक्लूडिंग बोरोइंग। ठीक है, सी इज द राइट आंसर। सो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टोटल रेवेन्यू एंड टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट इज टर्म्ड एज फिस्कल डेफिसिट। इट इज एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ द टोटल बोरोइंग नीडेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट व्हाइल कैलकुलेटिंग द टोटल रेवेन्यू, सो बोरोइंग्स आर नॉट इंक्लूडेड। ठीक है, तो बेसिकली बोरोइंग्स का अमाउंट जानने के लिए फिस्कल डेफिसिट कैलकुलेट किया जाता है, सो इसीलिए दैट इज व्हाई बोरोइंग्स आर एक्सक्लूडेड। ठीक है, सो बाय दैट फिगर यहाँ पे पता चलता है कि हाउ मच गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू बोरो, how much government needs to borrow to cover this, to cover their deficit to for the welfare mechanism। ठीक है, तो कितना अमाउंट उन्हें बोरो करना है, so this figure is told by the fiscal deficit only, right? जिन्होंने भी डी बोला है, their answer is correct। Now question number 27, along with the budget the finance minister also places other documents before the parliament which include the macroeconomic framework statement। The aforesaid documents are presented because this is mandated by, your options are, long-standing parliamentary convention, Article 112 and Article 110 of the Constitution of India, Article 113 of the Constitution of India, the FRBM, that is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003, or none of the above. Read the question carefully. The question is about the macroeconomic framework statement. Nilesh is saying FRBM 2003. Okay, Anup is saying D, that is FRBM again. Guys, read the question carefully. Satyam is saying 27D. बाकी लोगों को भी आंसर देना guys. You all have to participate in the session. So the right answer for this question is option number D only, right? So the macroeconomic framework statement is a statement presented to the parliament at the time of union budget under section 3 subsection 5 of the FRBM Act 2003. It contains an assessment of the growth prospects of the economy with a specific underlying assumption. So it contains an assessment regarding the expected GDP growth rate, fiscal balance of the central government and the external sector balance of the economy. So the statement is submitted annually. ठीक है, तो documents mandated by FRBM Act, this you need to remember, this is very important. Macroeconomic framework statement, fiscal policy strategy statement, medium term fiscal policy statement, medium term expenditure framework statement, right? So guys, आपको ये याद रखना है, ये सारे भी डॉक्यूमेंट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, they can be asked in any examination in which you are appearing। ठीक है, किसी भी एग्जामिनेशन में पूछा जा सकता है, because this is the very important concept। Now question number 28 is, which of the following is correct regarding the effect of increasing cash reserve ratio by the Reserve Bank of India? ठीक है, यहाँ पर किस चीज का इफेक्ट पूछ रहा है? The effect of increase in cash reserve ratio, that is CRR. So options are increase the supply of money in the economy, decrease the supply of money in the economy, no impact on the supply of money in the economy, then initially increase the supply but later on decrease automatically, and last is option number E, that is none of the above. Nilesh is saying 28th B. Satyam is saying 28th B. Isha, Jyoti, Priyanka, you all are saying option number B, that is decrease the supply of money in the economy, right? ठीक है, so you all have clarity about the concept. So right answer for this question is option number B only. So increase in CRR will lead to decrease in money supply in the economy as banks are now required to maintain higher amount with the RBI. ठीक है, you know that banks have to maintain different kind of reserve requirement like CRR, SLR. ठीक है, तो रिजर्व रिक्वायरमेंट्स बैंक्स हैव टू मेंटेन. सो इफ अगर इसका रेट अगर अर्लियर सपोज इट इज 4% बट नाउ इट इज इंक्रीज टू 10%, देन बैंक्स हैव टू मेंटेन दिस 10%. सो नाउ दे विल हैव लेस मनी टू लेंड. ठीक है, उनके पास कम पैसे होंगे अब लेंड करने के लिए. सो दैट विल डिक्रीज इन मनी सप्लाई इन द इकोनॉमी. सो आई होप you guys are aware about these kind of concepts, right? They are very much important. Now question number 29. So as part of 2030 agenda for sustainable development, what is the total number of targets to be achieved under the 17 SDGs? That is sustainable development goals. Your options are 189, 180, 179, 169 or 164. Nilesh is saying 29th का D. बताएं, बाकी लोग भी बताएं जी, what is the right answer for question number 29th? You all are saying option number D only, that is 169. So the right answer for this question is option number D, right? That is 169. So United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs, are targets for global development adopted in September 2015, set to be achieved by 2030. So all these are important. This can be asked in your question, that by which year SDGs has to be achieved, right? So this is the 20, this is the 20, that is this 2030. By 2030 SDGs have to be achieved. All countries of the world have agreed to work towards achieving these goals. So these all are the explanation about the different kind of SDGs which are available. So the 17 SDGs, and these all are the 17 SDGs, okay, which you can read through the PDF only, right? So I hope you are getting, guys. Now let's move to the question number 30th. So question number 30 is, with reference to Financial Stability and Development Council, consider the following statements. Your options are: it is an organ of Niti Aayog. It is headed by the Union Finance Minister. It monitors macroprudential supervision of the economy. We are talking about Financial Development and Financial Stability and Development Council. So this is again very important body from your examination point of view. ठीक है, बहुत ही important body है, which you need to remember. Your options are 1 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3. Nilesh is saying 30th C, that is 2 and 3. Anup is saying C, Jyoti is saying C, Nikhil, you all are saying option number C, Priyanka is saying C. So the right answer for this question is option number C only, right? So the Financial Stability and Development Council was set up by the government as the apex level forum in December 2010. Then it was set up much before Niti Aayog was even set up. So statement 1 is not correct. So chairman of the council is the finance minister. The council will act as a coordination agency between the various financial sector regulators like RBI, SEBI, IRDA and the PFRDA. So the council monitors macroprudential supervision of the economy, which includes functioning of large financial conglomerates. Then it also addresses inter-regulatory coordination and financial sector development issues, right? So I hope after reading this you will get more clarity. Now friends, question number 31. So if you withdraw rupees 1 lakh in cash from your demand deposit account at your bank, the immediate effect on aggregate money supply in the economy will be, your options are to reduce it by 1 lakh, to increase it by 1 lakh, to increase it by more than 1 lakh, to leave it unchanged, or none of the above. Friends, read the question carefully. बताइए फ्रेंड्स. Question number 31. So Sarita is saying D, Isha is saying D, Nope, Jyoti, you all are saying option number D, that is to leave it unchanged. बाकी लोग बताएं what is the right answer. Ajay is saying option number C, to increase it by more than 1 lakh. Okay. Priyanka is saying money multiplier. Ashwani, skip. Okay. So right answer for this question is option number D only, that it remains unchanged. So aggregate money supply means M3, right? And what is M3? M3 is coin and currency with public, plus demand deposit with commercial banks, plus time deposit with commercial banks. So if you withdraw 1 lakh rupees from your account, then M3 will remain unchanged. How? Because 1 lakh rupees will shift from the column of demand deposit to the coin currency with public. ठीक है? तो same चीज थी पहले आपके account में थी. Now that you will have in your hand, right? So basically there is no change. It will remain unchanged. There is no change in the money supply. ठीक है? Money supply में कोई भी change नहीं होने वाला है यहाँ पर. So आपको इस तरीके से चीजों को सोचना है. Now guys, question number 32. So lending to which of the following sectors is not a part of priority sector lending? Your options are MSME, housing for poor, export credit, iron and steel industry, or social infrastructure. बताइए what is the right answer for question number 32? Nilesh is saying 32 का D, that is iron and steel industry. Jyoti is saying D. Isha is saying D. Vijay, Nikhil, you all are saying option number D, that is iron and steel industry, right? So you all are correct. The right answer for this question is option number D, that is iron and steel industry. So these are the categories under priority sector lending. So agriculture, MSME, export credit, education, housing, social infrastructure, renewable energy or others. Okay? So these all are the categories. Now guys, question number 33, with reference to marginal standing facility, consider the following statements. Your options are: it does not affect the value of currency as it is used for overnight transactions. The purpose of marginal standing facility is to reduce volatility in the overnight lending rates in the interbank market. Then marginal standing facility rate is generally lower than repo rate. So which of the following statement given above is correct? Your options are 1 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3. बताइए friends, what is the right answer for question number 33? Nilesh is saying 33 का B, that is second only. Okay. Ajay Shankar is saying option number 33B. 33B. Okay, so you all are saying option number B, that is the purpose of marginal standing facilities to reduce volatility in the overnight lending rates in the interbank market, which means these two, option number 1 and option number 3 are incorrect. Right, so right answer for this question is option number B only. So marginal standing facility is a window for banks to borrow from the Reserve Bank of India in an emergency situation when interbank liquidity dries up completely. ठीक है, जब interbank liquidity available नहीं होती है, then banks can opt for borrowing from the Reserve Bank of India under marginal standing facility. So banks borrow from the central bank by pledging government securities at a rate higher than repo rate. So try to understand one thing. यहाँ पे आप एक चीज simple logic भी लगा सकते हैं कि but when it is available in an emergency situation, then in that case the interest rate will definitely will be the higher from the repo rate, right? ठीक है, repo rate से higher ही रहने वाला, rate उससे कम नहीं होगा, because it is a kind of emergency lending. The MSF rate is pegged 100 basis points or a percentage point above the repo rate. This came into effect in 2011. So under the marginal standing facility, currently banks avail funds from the RBI on overnight basis against their excess statutory liquidity ratio holdings. Additionally, they can also avail funds on overnight basis up to 3% of the respective net demand and time liabilities outstanding at the end of the second preceding fortnight. Then since the market is very volatile, in a call money market, volatile markets lead to fluctuations in the value of currency. Hence, MSF does affect the value of currency for overnight transactions. So this is all the explanation of MSF which you can read, right? I hope you are getting. SNS is saying MSF is higher than repo. Yeah, sure. बिल्कुल यहाँ पे हमने discuss कर लिया है. Right? So now let's move to the question number 34. So what is the type of Indian economy? Your options are socialist, communist, capitalist, mixed or none of the above. So guys, यहाँ पे तो कोई गलती करने की गुंजाइश है ही नहीं. अगर इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में आ रहे हैं, then you have to make this answer right. ठीक है, यहाँ पर you cannot commit mistakes. बताइए जी, what is the type of Indian economy? What is the nature of Indian economy? You can say mixed. ठीक है, Nilesh is saying mixed. Isha is saying 34th D. बाकी लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं, फटाफट आंसर दीजिए. व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 34? यू ऑल आर सेइंग ऑप्शन नंबर डी, दैट इज मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी. ठीक है, so the planners of Indian economy adopted the concept of mixed economy. So the mixed economic system is defined as an economic system that combines the elements of market economy and the elements of planned economy. It is a synthesis of socialism and capitalism. ठीक है, यहाँ पर socialism भी रहेगा, capitalism भी रहेगा. So basically it is a synthesis of both. That is why it is called the mixed economy, which contains both private enterprises and public enterprises. Most modern economies implement a mixed economic system. A mixed economic system brings the advantage of free markets and also government intervention. Now let's move to the question number 35. So Maha plan model adopted in India in the mid-50s aimed at, your options are building a strong defense industry base. Second is setting up heavy industries which were capital intensive, curbing inflation in the economy, removing unemployment within a short period, or none of the above. Guys, we are talking about Maha plan. So what was the aim of Mahalanobis strategy or Mahalanobis plan? 35. Nilesh is saying B, that is setting up heavy industries which were capital intensive. Ajay is saying option number B. Jyoti is saying B. So you all are saying option number B, okay? So the right answer for this question is option number B only. So the correct answer is setting up heavy industries which were capital intensive. So Mahalanobis plan model adopted in India in the mid-50s aimed at setting up heavy industries which were capital intensive. So in the 1950s an old Russian model was Indianized by the PC Mahalanobis. This model is known to have set the statistical foundation for the state-directed investments and created the intellectual underpinnings of the license Raj through an elaborate input-output model. The model suggested that there should be an emphasis on the heavy industries which can lead the Indian economy to a long-term higher growth path. India's second five-year plan and industrial policy resolution 1956, which paved the way for the development of the public sector and licensing Raj, ठीक है? So basically आपको यही याद रखना है कि Mahalanobis strategy is all about the implementing or setting up heavy industries in the economy, right? Now question number 36. Which of the following statement is not correct? So read the question carefully. First of all, read the question carefully and then you have to read the options carefully, right? The question is about the incorrect statement. Your options are: the first five-year plan was launched from 1st April 1951. Then the first five-year plan gave emphasis on heavy industrialization. The first five-year plan was from 1951 to 1956. The first five-year plan was based on the Harrod-Domer model, or none of the above. Nilesh is saying 36th ka B. That is the first five-year plan gave emphasis on heavy industrialization. बाकी लोग फ्रेंड्स, Ajay is saying option number B, Sarita is saying B, Jyoti is saying 36th B. So the right answer for this question is option number B only, right? We have just discussed in previous question that the second five-year plan emphasized on heavy industrialization, which was based on PC Mahalanobis. So Harrod-Domer model, the Harrod-Domer model suggests that the rate of the economic growth depends on two things. That is level of savings. जितनी ज़्यादा savings रहेंगी economy में, savings enable higher investment. ठीक से, ठीक है? Then capital output ratio. That a lower capital output ratio means investment is more efficient and growth rate will be higher. इसका मतलब अगर आप कैपिटल आपको कम लगानी पड़ रही है किसी भी आउटपुट को अचीव करने के लिए, इफ यू वांट टू अचीव हायर आउटपुट देन यू नीड टू पुट लोअर कैपिटल. सो दिस इज कैपिटल आउटपुट रेशियो, ठीक है? लोअर द कैपिटल आउटपुट रेशियो बेटर इट वुड बी फॉर द इकोनॉमी. सो दिस सेज this is the principle of Harrod-Domer model, but the question is about the PC Mahalanobis, which was introduced in the second five-year plan. Now let's move to the question number 37. Inflation premium is the benefit to which of the following on account of inflation? Your options are borrowers, creditors, government, households, or none of the above. Nilesh is saying 37th B. Nikhil is saying 37th. Okay, Nikhil is saying 36th B. So guys, we are talking about question number 37. So Nilesh is saying 37th B. Jyoti is saying 37th B. Okay. Nikhil is saying 37th A. So the right answer for this question is option number A. That is borrowers. Inflation premium, right? So inflation premium is the bonus borrowers get due to inflation. Inflation allows borrowers to pay lenders back with money worth less than when it was originally borrowed, which benefits borrower. क्या मतलब है इसका फ्रेंड्स? Suppose you took a loan. Suppose आप अगर आज करेंट प्रेजेंटली आप लोन ले रहे हैं of amounting 1 lakh rupees, ठीक है? 1 lakh rupees which you have to repay over the period of 5 years. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ 5 years, ठीक है? अब यहाँ पर जो रेट डिसाइड होगा दैट विल बी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो, राइट? सो अब सपोज यहाँ पे इन्फ्लेशन अगर इकोनॉमी में 5% है, बट आफ्टर 5 years और आफ्टर 3 years द इन्फ्लेशन गोज टू 8% और 12%. सो इन दैट केस द वैल्यू जो रहेगी मनी की वो कम हो जाएगी. सो यू नीड टू रिपे द सेम अमाउंट विच हैज बीन डिसाइडेड एट द टाइम ऑफ टेकिंग द लोन. सो वहां पर वैल्यू जो है वो आपको कम पे करनी पड़ेगी बिकॉज ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेशन मनी की वैल्यू कम हो जाएगी. बट यहाँ पर एडवांटेज बोरोवर को मिल जाएगा कि उसे सेम इंटरेस्ट रेट से विच हैज बीन डिसाइडेड एट द टाइम ऑफ टेकिंग लोन उसको वही रिपे करना है. सो विच इज अ लॉस फॉर क्रेडिटर्स एंड विच इज अ बेनिफिट फॉर द बोरोवर्स. सो आई होप यू आर गेटिंग, ठीक है? Because of inflation, borrower will get the benefit. Now question number 38. So which of the following is the change in costs of goods and services but does not include those from the food and energy sectors? Your options are headline inflation, hyperinflation, core inflation, stagflation, or none of the above. Right friend, the key point, the key word is but does not include, right? 38C. So Nilesh is saying 38C. Ajay Shankar is saying option number C. Nilesh is saying core inflation. Okay. बाकी लोग बताएं what is the right answer for question number 38? Jyoti C, Priyanka C, Sarita is saying option number C. So right answer for this question is option number C only, that is core inflation. So if we talk about core inflation, so it is the change in cost of goods and services but does not include those from the food and energy sectors. So this measure of inflation excludes these items because their prices are very much volatile. You know the prices of fuel and food, ठीक है, हमारे यहाँ पर fuel और food के जो prices है they are very much volatile, ठीक है, तो उसको अगर consider करना है so that will be the headline inflation जो कि सारी चीजों को consider करता है. And if we exclude the prices of we exclude the items of food and energy, food and fuel, then in that case that will be the core inflation. So this is the basic difference between the core inflation and the headline inflation which you need to remember, right? Now guys, question number 39, the Monetary Policy Committee of RBI uses which of the following index data to control inflation? Your options are Consumer Price Index, Baseline Profitability Index, Consumer Protection Index, Food Price Index, or Wholesale Price Index. बताइए friends, what is the right answer for question number 39? Nilesh is saying 39 CPI, that is option number A. Ajay is saying A, Isha is saying A, Nikhil, Jyoti, you all are saying option number A, right? So the right answer for this question is option number A only. So the Monetary Policy Committee uses Consumer Price Index data to control inflation. Headline inflation based on Consumer Price Index, that is CPIC, has been adopted as the key measure of inflation by the RBI as mentioned in the Monetary Policy Statement of April 2014. Earlier, the official measure of inflation in India was derived based on the Wholesale Price Index. So this you need to remember. Guys, these all are the factual details which are frequently asked in the examination and you have to have this, ठीक है? आपको इसके बारे में आइडिया होना चाहिए, आपको ये सब चीजें बिल्कुल रट्टी होनी चाहिए so that if question appears in the examination, you can mark it correct. Now guys, last question for today, that is the question number 40th. Which one of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effects? Okay, read the question carefully. Most inflationary in its effects. So the options are repayment of public debt, borrowing from the public to finance a budget deficit, borrowing from the banks to finance a budget deficit, creation of new money to finance a budget deficit, or none of the above. So Nilesh is saying 40th D, Ajay is saying 40th D, Isha, Jyoti Kapoor. Okay, so you all are saying option number D only, that is the creation of new money to finance a budget deficit, right? So guys, the right answer for this question is option number D. So the chances of inflation will increase more when the government plans to print a new currency to finance a budget deficit. ठीक है, जब भी नई currencies print की जाएंगी, so there is the chances that will increase the chances of inflation in the economy. When the supply of money increases in the market, the customer demand automatically increases, resulting in the rise of aggregate demand. So this is the simple concept of demand and supply, which you know very well, right? So guys, this is all for part 1. In tomorrow's session, we will be discussing all the remaining 40 questions in part 2 as well. So I hope you enjoyed the session and you learned a lot of new things. So guys, कैसा लगा आपको सेशन, ये आपको कमेंट करके बताना है बाद में कि आपको सेशन कैसा लगा, whether you feel it relevant or not. ठीक है, अगर आपको अच्छा लगा तो definitely you have to comment, and we'll meet tomorrow with some new set of 40 questions. So till then, have a good day and happy learning, friends.